And so what we're doing is we're converting from standard to vertex form. And so I'm going to scroll down right here. This is what is on your milestone. So a lot of people took the milestone yesterday if they did the second semester. And this was definitely on it. And this is what you get. You get this paper. It's actually on your screen. But this is part of what you get on your test the entire time. So you can see that standard form looks like this, what we've been working with, the factor, and vertex form looks like that. And so we learned vertex form last unit, but today we're going to focus on going from this form to that form. And so to do that, we can use completing the square. And so the first step is move the C or the constant to the other side of the equal sign. So make sure we're focused. Make sure we got this, right? So we're moving our C, which is our constant, to the other side of the equation. So to do that, I would add 20 to both sides of the equation. That's what you're going to do first. When you do that, you do x squared plus 8x plus blank, like that, equals, and 0 plus 20 is 20 plus blank. So we leave those blanks because we're going to be completing the square. And so to complete the square, when we say completing the square, you remember how in our do now we had this twice, and I said we can write it like that? That's what we're trying to make. We're trying to make something that's the same number that we can write like a cute little square like that. And how we do that is right here. We take half of our b and square it. Add this number to both sides of the equation with your blanks. So I take half my middle number, which is 8. What is half of 8? 4. And it's positive 8. Make sure you keep the sign with it. And square it. What is 4 squared? That's square root of 4. What's 4 squared though? 16. And so I add that number to both sides of the equation like that. So to get that complete the square, we're trying to turn it into this little square. You take half that middle number and then square it. Then we factor the equation and then combine like terms on that side. So right here, we know we did this because we know it's going to be the same number that multiplies to 16 adds to 8. What multiplies to 16 and adds to 8? 4 and 4. We did that on purpose. We set it up like that. Ding, ding, ding. And so since it's a plus right here, I would write it like this. X plus 4 and x plus 4, but instead I'm going to put x plus 4 squared because it's the same number. Equals, and I just add this. What's 20 plus 16? 36. So sometimes they're going to have you stop there. Like there may be milestone and final questions that just say complete the square and they have you stop here. So you would just follow those steps right up to here. The next part that we do is we move our constant back over to the other side by using inverse operation. So right here, I want to get 36 to the other side. How would I do that? Subtract because it's positive. And I'm going to put it right there. So my new equation is x plus 4 squared minus 36 equals y. And then that's how we convert it. Now we want to be able to identify the vertex. And so remember, the axis of symmetry is your x coordinate of your vertex. Or the x coordinate of your vertex is your h. So if I go down to my equation right here, right, it says vertex form. See how it has minus h in there? Remember, that means since it's minus, that means it tells you the opposite. So what's the opposite of positive 4? Negative 4. It even says that right here. That's why it's minus in this. You get this the whole test and on your final. that minus, the point of it is to tell you opposite. So minus h just means it's the opposite. So I know my axis of symmetry is -4. The y-coordinate of my vertex is my k. And so we can see it's plus k, so it's the same sign. So what is your k right here?
Negative.
-36. And that's your vertex. Now, if we want to tell if that's the min or the max, we look at our leading coefficient. If this is positive, is it a positive Patricia or a negative Nancy? If it's a positive leading coefficient. Positive Patricia. So is this the min or the max? The min, right? It's at the bottom. So this one, you know what your min. So we always look at the leading coefficient, just for what we learned from last unit, to figure out which is which. Does that make sense? So the more, just like if you were to practice playing basketball, the more you practice this, the more it flows, right? So at first you're going to have to maybe read step by step, but as you practice it, it will come more naturally. So we're going to go to that worksheet that has just like 4 boxes on it. We're just practicing with that. So all we're doing is we're moving these things around and getting it from standard to vertex form. So we're going to go over, I'm going to go over one more with you, and then you'll try the next 3 on your own. So first, I have x squared plus 10x plus 9 equals 0. What's the first thing I need to do here? Good. Move the constant over. So subtract, because it's positive, 9 on both sides. And you get x squared plus 10x plus what? Blank. Good. Equals -9 plus 10. Then who can remember what to do next? Which number?
10.
Beautiful. Square 10. But before I square it, what do I do with 10? Break it in half. Then square it. So what's half of 10? 5 and 5 square? 25. And then I add that to both sides of my equation. Then I turn it to the perfect little square.
Well, you have to put the square.
This one right here. Well, you can just do it in your head, like half of 10. This is just me doing work out loud. Well, remember, what number multiplies? It multiplies with 25 and adds to 10. 5 and 5, right? Hint, hint, you could always just take the square root of that. So it's, since that's a plus, this will be a plus. And then what's -9 plus 25? What's -9 plus 25? 16. Then to get it into vertex form, what do I have to do with that 16 now? How do I bring it back over? Subtract. And so here's my new equation, x plus 5 squared minus 16 equals 1. So your vertex, your x coordinate, your vertex is -5. So, because you're looking at it, but don't skip a step. This will be the equation. And then if it said, what is the vertex? Christopher, you're right. The opposite of what's in here, because it's -h, what's the opposite of +5? -5. So don't change it in the actual parentheses. Just know that your x coordinate, your vertex, is the opposite. And what's your y coordinate? Good. And you know this would be a min because it's a positive, Patricia. What's the axis of symmetry? X equals what? -5. And so remember, most of this test, there's only 10 questions you don't get a calculator. So most of these, like, if you totally forget how to do this, You can literally type this into your calculator, right? And find the vertex on your table and just plug it in for H and K. Sometimes they'll ask you of like what step is next, but mostly like if you're able to put it in your calculator and find your H and K and plug it in, that's fine too. But for now, I want to make sure you could do it by hand because there are 10 questions that are not calculator. And you also, they may be like right here, they may say, okay, what number do I add? How do I complete the square? What number do I add to each blank? Do you get what I'm saying? Try the next one on your own. Mhm. So you're trying the next one on your own. So start by writing the equation down. And what do you need to move first? Yep, add 14 to both sides. So see if you can start with that. I'm going to pause